Hey guys, Coach Benny here, and today I'm with Reem as we're going to demonstrate to you a load of movements that you'll be able to do at home. We're in the gym where we soon won't be allowed to be, but that doesn't mean that we're going to not be able to come up with modification of these movements to use your body weight and hopefully some things you can find around the house to keep training. First up, we've got the split squat. Now, I quite like these over walking lunges, and it's basically just a static lunge. The thing that is a bit of an issue with walking lunges is you end up with a bit of shear strain through your knee, which we'll end up showing you in a second. But let's look at how we set up for just a static lunge or a split squat. So, first things first, Reem is going to stagger her stance. Now, you could have your feet close together in what people refer to as a B stance. This is much more used in athletic applications. For this, it's a little bit riskier in terms of how good their form can be, so we're just going to keep things easy and try and set up as a rule of thumb so that the gap between your heel and this knee is the same between when you go down to the bottom of your squat, this gap here. So try and just keep that pretty similar if you could look at it in a mirror. Okay, so that is her setup. Now let's look at where she's putting pressure on her 2 feet. So on the front foot, we're focused on the heel. If you focused on putting your pressure on your toe, as she came forward, come forward, you'd see her knee coming a long way over that toe and putting a lot of shear strain pressure here. And this is what I see a lot of when people go for the lunge, where they're lunging forward and then coming back. There's a lot of force in this direction, and actually to appropriately work the legs as they're trying to be used here, you might as well just operate up and down. So she's going to focus on the weight being on a little bit more toward this heel. Not so the toes are off the floor, the foot stays flat, but she drives through the heel and back up. And as you can see, the knee is much more acting as a lever than it is acting as something countering the shear pressure. Okay, let's come back over to the back foot here. Now, if she tried to keep the heel down, she might have the ankle flexibility to do that. Go down to the bottom of your thing, so your lunge, yeah, it's not great. That doesn't look great as a movement, and the knee is having to come a long way forward. Come back up. If she keeps the heel nice and elevated and the pressure on the ball of the foot, as she drops down with the pressure on the front heel, back ball, she's able to drive back up. And that's a much nicer movement with a much better range. At the top, she can even try clenching that left glute to keep everything nice and upright and get a double engagement there. So as she comes down, she's focusing driving through the heel of this front foot and engaging the glute, feeling a little bit of a stretch through this back quad. And then as she pushes up, engages the back glute there. Now let's head up to look at her body. Can you just walk? Let me do it good. Okay, cool. So what a lot of people will do is end up leaning forwards or backwards, like that or like that, neither of which is going to be very good for your lower back. What you want to do is try and maintain a good upright line there. So as you go down, up, the back is isolated and we're really focusing on the legs. One more, front heel, back ball, drive up. Okay, so that'll do for a second. If you're at home and you're trying to increase your core engagement on this, or you find that you're able to do 50 of these and it's still not getting you close enough to failure, what you can do is load it. So you could use anything for this. I'm going to grab a sanitized dumbbell and you can hold this in either hand. So what Reem's been doing a lot of recently is she'll hold it in her outside hand and go down and up. You could also hold it on your inside hand if it's more comfortable, and you probably want to try and keep it quite close to you there, maintaining that center of gravity down the middle of your body line and coming up. You can mix this up to load your body in different planes. Last one, down and up. Just please be sensible with what you're holding onto. You don't want it to be really big, so you have to hold it out here because you're just trying to keep that movement arm as small as possible and allow you to at least have some load to lift. And if you're really trying to get as much load as possible and less of a core stability issue, you can have it in both hands and that will evenly load it. So if we just show you how that works, you can have dumbbells like so. Go down with the weight of both hands. Obviously now, double the load that she's working with, but reduce the core stability requirements. There we go. Cool. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you properly perform a split squat or a static lunge. We'll be back soon.